Welcome to the program Power Tonight with Elvira. Last week, napakaganda po ng interview natin kay Chef Angelo Bantorn kung saan po isa pong expert sa paggawa ng bread. Ngayon naman po, itong linggo na ito, napakapalad po ng programa kasi po isang guest po na napakagaling coming all the way from Taiwan sa Mandarin Hotel. Walang iba kundi si Chef 𝗂𝗂𝗿. Siya po ang executive pastry chef ng GT Pastry Shop. At ano kaya ang kanyang i-introduce sa atin? Bakit po siya andito sa Pilipinas? Siya pong subaybayan ninyo sa pagbabalik ng Power Tonight with Elvira. Chef Gregory, welcome to the program Power Tonight with Elvira. I know you have been here just only for 3 days, so it's your first time in the Philippines, so it's really a very hectic schedule for you, right? So we really appreciate that you took time to say yes to the interview because I'm sure Filipino televiewers will learn a lot for whatever you will share with us. So Chef Gregory, I'm very curious because, you know, you mentioned about modern cake. You introduced that. And I have seen, you know, how it works. And I'm very impressed. And I fell in love with the colors, you know. Yeah. It's really the technique, the skill, and the passion of doing that is something I think they should have seen and witnessed. It's not only the color, the texture, but the taste. Yeah. You know, it's very good, you know. But before we go into that, Chef Gregory, I would love to know, you know, for the televiewers also to understand, why choose to be a chef of pastry rather than a culinary arts, you know, or cooking? Because a lot of television, you know, we have now even the newspaper, in the radio, you know, they always have a cooking class. But pastry, making cakes, making breads, very seldom, you know. And at the same time, there must be something that inspires you to choose this career.
Yeah, you know, in France, you choose your work and your future very soon. You know, around like 15 years old, you have a choice to start already like a work career. For me, it was like evidence to start in this industry because I come from Burgundy, you know, so it's a country of lot of food and lot of specialty. Okay. And I always like to love to see my grandmother, my mom, to cook, and I was participate too much time to help them. So basically after 10 or 12 years old, for me it was clear. I want to be a pastry cook, you know, because you don't choose to be a chef directly. You don't know what the life can be. You just choose, you start your career. And I started my career around 18 years old, so I start to do like apprenticeship in a school for 3 years. I do another years to learn more skills with some different schools. And after I decide to start my career as a pastry chef, I can say, yeah.
So you mentioned earlier that you were inspired by your grandmother and your mother. Yeah. So is their specialty is really making cakes?
You know, in France, you know, we have a lot of tradition. Okay. The first tradition is to enjoy a meal. Okay. A meal with a family. So it means you should to love what you prepare. You should to share with your family this dinner. So it's a lot of emotion, you know. So it's cooking, it's pastry, it's bread, it's cheese, you know, so everything is like, you know, in France you have a big meal. Okay. You know, so, yeah.
So you got it from them. Yes, and then to choose, instead of just, you know, becoming a chef, you know, in the restaurant or making business, you choose to be a pastry. Why pastry? What is so special in pastry?
In my family, my dad is an artist. Yes.
Oh, now I know.
Yeah, my dad is an artist. He's doing like a glass heart, but not like a glass, like a glasses or like just like a small animals in glass, you know, like a cat or many things, and is really talented. And I want to combine some gastronomy with this kind of art. And I see only one art, is a pastry art. So pastry art, because in pastry it's a lot of things.
Yeah.
Today we talk about cake, but tomorrow we can speak about ice carving, we can speak about chocolate sculpture, we can speak about bread, we can speak about ice cream. So it's all about artistic.
Yes.
Yeah. So I take the part of the artistic from my dad, and maybe the taste of my mom or my grandmother.
I think I agree with you, because I'm glad that I attended your class for 3 days, although not totally, but the way you really designed the cake, you know. I said, even if I would love to do it, I don't have the skill. You have witnessed that, you know, that I thought it was just like that. It's very easy, but when I put it, something came, you know. Yeah. So it has to take a person, you know, with gift. From 18 years old, so did you work, or you know, in a restaurant to, you know?
So, you know, basically I work like a internship, so do like internship between school and some like pastry shop in Lyon. And after I want to not directly work all the time. I want to also study, because I think for me to be a chef or to be a good cooker is not only to work in a restaurant, it's also to understand all things around, so the management, how to talk with the people, so it's not only cooking, you know. So I decided to continue a little bit the school for 2 years, and after 2 years, around 22 years old, yes, I decided to start to work and to start by, I can say, the restaurant part, because the restaurant part for me is the best part to enjoy a dessert, because everything should be fresh and everything is done last minute, compared to the pastry shop, that you produce a cake in pastry shop and you wait that the guest will buy. But between the time the shop is open until it's closed, maybe it's the same cake, so it will be not the same freshness. So it's two parts. So for me, the first part of restaurant was the base for me. So I start with this one for 1 year.
When is it that you decided to work in the hotels? Is this your first time in Mandarin Taiwan?
No, the Mandarin Taiwan was coming very late. After my apprenticeship, I decided to directly go to discover the world. So I didn't work too much in France. I worked maybe just 1.5 years in France.
Okay.
I decided to move, so visit many countries, find a job. Sometimes good job, sometimes bad job. Doesn't matter. You learn every time.
Yes, yes.
And I spent a lot of time in Russia. I spent a lot of time in Russia, in Moscow, in all Russia, for 8 years. So it was all my part of the work. So I spent 8 years in Russia, and I want to leave. Of course, after 8 years, get a little bit boring, want to see new things, and I decided to just stop. So I stopped my job for 3 months, just to have a rest first, and to really understand what will be my future journey in this business. And the Mandarin Oriental contacted me to take this position. So I was super happy, first because to discover Asia, because I know the US market, I know the Emirates, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, yes. Kuwait. Yes. I know the Europe market, I know the East market of Europe, so all Russia, Ukraine. And just the part is missing for me is this big part of the world, Asia and also Australia, Japan also a little bit. So I was super happy to take this position and to work for this beautiful brand, because Mandarin is an amazing brand for me. In a hotel, I think it's the best hotel in the world.
Yes, very well known.
Yes.
You mentioned that you worked 8 years in Russia, and
yes.
Is it in Ukraine?
Also because I was able to traveling, you know, a lot. Yeah.
Do you work in the hotel or
no,
just
I
a
work
restaurant?
in a catering company.
Ah, okay.
So catering company is basically you produce in some like production, and you delivery by order, and you do a lot of custom made. Is what I like also in this job. is a custom.
And when you were there, is it after the, the communism already was not around anymore?
It was
so they are just
closed.
Opening up to the Western world?
It was already open, and it was a very good time in Russia. Very, very good time. But the people don't care about the quality and can pay the quality and spend a lot of money inside the food.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was this 5-6 years that the Russian growing very, very, very fast.
Yeah, because
now
I
it's
understand.
Different.
Yeah, it's very different.
Yes.
When was your last time there?
It was before the crisis in Russia, so it's 2008, I think. No, 12.
Yeah, that was the time when they just opened up, know.
Yes.
R is now at Radio Bandido, an informative program that tackles all issues concerning all walks of life, delivering hottest issues and events, with health consultations on air and a lot more, with your host veteran newsman 𝗣ποι𝘄𝗲𝗿 and master entrepreneur 𝗨𝗶𝘄𝗲𝗿. R sa Radio Bandido every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. You can catch R on DZRJ 810 a.m., Radio Bandido TV channel 224, TV Plus boxes, and streaming live on Facebook/DZRJ 810 a.m. and YouTube channel DZRJ 810 a.m. Radio Bandido.
I'm very surprised of all the countries that you visited. I said, why choose Russia when, it's quite different,
I was very young when I start to move to discover the world. So my first job was in US, but for me, I was not well prepared to go in this position. So I decided to back to France and work for a very famous catering brand in Paris. Its name is 𝗘𝗹𝘃𝗵. And I worked for 1 year, but I was so exciting to make something more, and to discover something more. And this proposition came to me to work in Russia for the same brand in Paris, so catering brand. And I decided to go there. Because when you are young, you always like to have responsibility.
And adventure is like an adventure.
Yes, an adventure. And this responsibility for me was unexpected. It was unexpected. So I just take my bag and go there. And I stay 8 years.
8 years, yeah, that's why I'm very surprised.
Because I also find my wife there, so it's why.
So your wife is Russian?
Yes.
So with Mandarin, how many years did you work?
2 years.
It's only in Taiwan.
Yes, Taipei, yeah.
Yeah, because I know Mandarin is a very good, for me, I've seen Mandarin in Paris, Mandarin in Hong Kong. I still love Taiwan better,
Yeah,
people
Taiwan
are nice.
Because first it's brand new hotel. It's the last
beautiful,
one was opened this 5 years ago, and it's good compromise between the quality, the service, the experience. It's very nice.
So you have been to America, then to Russia, which is another world, and then now in Asia. How do you see the differences?
It's a lot of difference. I will talk only about my job.
Yeah.
It's like, it's Europe. I can say now it's Europe create something, And after a lot of chefs around the world take inspiration from Europe to create and to make something sometimes better or just sometimes to follow. I was really surprised in Taiwan, for example, the quality of the pastry. The inspirations coming from French chef, from Europe chef.
Yes.
But after, the Taiwanese just take the inspiration and after create something, I can say now, better sometimes than the French people. So it's what I like, because you have a part of the world is a Europe, and after you have all country around. And some country will follow readapt with the taste of the local people, or just follow. Yeah. For example, you take the Japanese doing an amazing pastry, but it's the same inspiration as the French.
Yes, yes.
In one part, and the second part is a special Japanese inspiration. You take the shortcake. The Japanese shortcake, which is very soft, and you have a sponge, a strawberry. This is come from US base, but it's traveled to the Japan. The Japan create, customize, and after, you know, it's all around the world. I mean, you like this kind of cake, you know, especially in Asia. The people like to have something fruity, not too sweet, really spongy. Yeah. So I really like this kind of world, you know, that everybody share, change, and also the opportunity to have some like great school, like the academy here in Manila, but you also can have inspiration and to learn from other chefs, because I'm here today, but tomorrow will be another chef will come, and you can learn how to make chocolate, how you can make shortcake, bread, you know. So it's really good sharing.
From Taipei, you started to accept teaching in the academy. What makes you, you know, try to do this? Not stay in a office, the four square room, but rather go out, you know, and expand.
You know, first I like to take risks.
Okay.
Because I think for me to take risks, it's challenge yourself, and it's very good opportunity. And I think it was my end in the hotels, in the hotel side in Taiwan, because Taiwan is a beautiful country, but still a small country.
Yeah.
And I like to also manage my life, you know, and to make what I want to do. And for me, it was a time to do this one. And so I decided this year to have a full year of traveling and discover what is missing on my skills, you know. So, and maybe to choose the right country for me, the right place to create my shop.
Maybe when you have a child already, maybe that's the time you become very stable in your life, you know. Now it's okay. If you don't have a child, it's okay to travel, you know.
Yes, is it true? Is why I'm waiting.
So enjoy.
Yes.
Enjoy the free moment that you have, because once you have a baby on your own, you have become a father.
I agree, but the most important is what you have done before.
Yes.
So is why I try to do a lot of things and to get a lot of inspiration. And after, you know, it's life. You should to stop in one place and create another life, you know.
So while you are still young, you are still healthy, and then you really love to travel, very supportive wife, you know. And maybe when you have a child, maybe it's better to settle down, you know.
Yeah, but I will continue anyway to travel all the time. I think it's my life is based like this.
So Philippines is just the first step, right, outside ASEAN, aside from Taipei. And, you know, from there, coming here for 3 days, so sad you didn't see so much except hotel, classroom, you know. Maybe you will come back again another time, you know. And because if you love sea, if you love, you know, beaches, we have a lot to offer.
Yeah,
but not during this time.
Too much good things about Philippines. Beautiful of nature, country is very nice. Yeah.
So when you accepted this position to teach for 3 days, you know, did you expect to have plenty of students?
You know, it's always, since I'm starting, you know, it's always different. So sometimes the maximum, it's 12 students. 12 students is a maximum, because we need to have time also. And the chef need to work with the student, and is much closer. I really like this.
Small numbers are better.
Yes.
But thank you, Chef, for the beautiful discussion we have. Itutuloy po namin aming magandang discussion sa pagbabalik po ng Power to Unite with Elvira.
𝗨ʰ𝗶𝗶𝗵 Baby is a news-oriented program that tackles topical issues and headlines with the support of DZRJ field reporters. Hosted by the legendary Jimmy Morato, Monday to Friday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Radio Bandido TV, Channel 224 Sky Cable, TV Plus boxes, digital free-to-air Channel 29, DZRJ 810 a.m., Facebook.com/DZRJ 810 a.m., and on YouTube, Channel DZRJ 810 a.m., Radio Bandido.
Chef Gregory, so I'm glad that you let us know of your experience in different countries. You have seen the differences, so it seems like everything is a journey to you, it's a challenge to you, and you also feel that you can still contribute more, right? So from working from the catering service, you know, to the hotel, and then suddenly to be a professor, a teacher, or instructor, you know, do you see there's a fulfillment in your part? Or is this just a trial again for you?
No, it's a trial.
A trial. So you don't see any fulfillment yet?
Not yet.
Yeah, that's good because, you know, this is your first time to teach.
No, you know, it's not it's not the first time because I was, it's already like 5-6 years I'm doing some class sometimes and for different company, but not like full time, you know, just one times per month maybe. So it's different. But you know, when you are a chef, you know, it's something like normal, you know, to teach. So this kind of, but yeah, it's okay. Yes.
But don't you think it's quite different because, you know, there's an interaction, a lively interaction coming from your student, and you also learn from them because working in a, let's say, even if a 5-star hotel or in a 5-star restaurant, well-known restaurant catering service, it's only you and the people around you, right?
Yes.
Then
and
they also listen to you. You are the boss. But here, you know, when you started to teach, sometimes the idea, you know, you never think about it. They can share with you, and it's a educational. It will be very educational on your part to learn also from them. Don't you think this is much more fulfilling, you know, that you learn from each other, this interactive relationship between the teachers and the student? It's worth paying attention, you know.
Exactly.
You know, because this is how I look at it, you know, when, and I also agree with you a while ago when you said that normal student 12 is still the best. And I'm happy when they told me we are around 6. I said, wow. So the teachers will pay more attention because this is not a very easy, you know, thing.
Difficult.
It takes a lot of hard work, as you said a while ago, a lot of hard work, a lot of patience, a lot of skill to understand, you know. So I have seen how you really do the things with love. What is important, there should be love in it, right?
It's the most important.
Yeah. So this is how I look at it. That's why, you know, when I said this is a good opportunity to interview because, you know, your passion can really encourage a lot more young people who have the same things that sometimes they don't discover it, but they have it really to follow the path. It's not an easy path. You will not make money right away because, as you said, you have to encounter a lot of good and bad experience for you to grow and to find your feet, right? But what is important based on your story is that as long as you have the support of your family, the people who loves you and whom you love, and then also the talent, the gift, the creativity inside you, you don't have to be scared, right? To face the world.
You know, for me it was a little bit different because, okay, your family support you, your friends support you, but, you know, when arrive the time that you leave from your house and you start to study or to move like me, because I left from my family when I was 18. You should to work, and your family of course help you, but you make yourself alone. But most of the time, because you know, when you, for example, you're traveling in the Philippines, the time difference is very long from France, so it's difficult sometimes to have good communication with your family, and is work that the people work with you make as also family, because we spend a lot of times together. You know, to work in this industry is 6 days per week you work. You can work 12, 14, 15 hours per day. So the skills, the questions that you mentioned before, you take from the school and this one, but the rest is you should to practice a lot. And you have two ways. You follow the people, and you follow for a long time the people. If you follow a chef and something like this. Me, I didn't follow anyone. I just follow myself. So it was a little bit more challenging for me.
It's because you were used to be alone, you know, because as you said, at the age of 18, you were already alone. I think now I understand why. Because in Asia, you know, we are very close to the family. So even if you're married, they still have to meet each other, you know. So, but anyway, thank you, Shep, for the beautiful, you know, experience that you are telling us about your life, because this is what made you of who you are today. But we will continue our beautiful conversation next week. I hope you can still make it next week, because, you know, we still need to learn a lot about, you know, the modern cake that you are introducing, especially to our country. So itutuloy po namin aming magandang discussion sa pagbabalik po ng Power to Unite with Elvira sa susunod na linggo, na siya pong panuorin nyo at subaybayan.
Usapang Bayan Express. UB Express tuwing Martes hanggang Biyernes alas 5 ng hapon. Balita, kontrobersiya, diskusyon at sentimiento ng bayan ating tatalakayin. Ito si Alan Visitasyon dito sa DZRJ 810 kHz Radyo Bandido.
Welcome to the part 2 of our beautiful conversation with Chef Gregory Doyen. Siya pong Executive Chef Pastry po dito sa GD Pastry Shop. Last week, maganda po pinag-usapan natin at nakita po natin ang kanyang skill, talent, creativeness na mana po niya sa kanyang ama at sa kanyang yung pagluluto at paggusto sa pagkain ay dahil din sa kanyang lola at sa kanyang nanay. Pero ang maganda po dito na malaking challenge po sa kanya yung nakapagbiyahe po siya sa iba-ibang bansa at natuto niya ang iba-ibang kultura. So na-realize niya na talagang we need to understand, you know, we have to be exposed for us to grow. Para sa kanya, it's nice to see and travel to the world for its education value. Pero hindi nawawala sa kanya ang kanyang hidden love for pastry. So ano kaya ang aming pag-uusapan ngayon? Siya pong subaybayan ninyo sa pagbabalik ng Power to Unite with Elvira. Chef Gregory, thank you, for agreeing to do another part or another episode of your beautiful life, as a chef. Because from Taipei, when you learned you were invited here in the Philippines, have you any idea about Philippines? So why did you accept it, considering you have been 2 years there?
Yeah, it was, for me it was a good opportunity to come here, and especially to teach my skills and to show my work. Yeah.
But you did not have any idea
Not really,
about
you
the
know, but
Filipino taste?
of course, like you saw some inspiration. You know which kind of fruit you can find in a country. You can, you know this kind of details. But I don't really looking. I don't want to know too much things before. I prefer to come and to get inspired.
You should try our mango, and then maybe you can create something. Filipino mangoes are quite different.
I try the
from,
Filipino mango. Yes, it's a little bit different from.
Yes, but maybe you can create something since you're so creative, So okay, so you accepted this for 3 days. It's a very short stay, but it's a lot of hard work because you introduced 10 kinds of modern cake, as you said. What is this? Your own concoction, your own idea?
Yes.
So why did you call it modern day cake?
The cake should be a story.
Yes.
And need to be represent the chef.
Mm-hmm.
I think the pastry it's important to have very nice looking and very nice taste. Okay. But each pastry that I create, I really want to give a story or an history about the product that I use inside or the inspiration, So sometimes I create the pastry from the idea or from the ingredients.
Okay.
It's different from like basic cake,
Yes.
If you want, for example, we make 𝗘𝗶𝘃𝗵, and this cake was idea from the red velvet. This is like historic cake, the red velvet.
Yes.
This cake was created in New York long time ago, and you can see all around the world you have red velvet cake, but it's basically just like butter cheese cream, sponge, butter cheese cream, layer by layer. But I want to give something more freshness, so we add raspberry inside, we add cherry, and we make some cream, but not like so sweet, so we reduce the amount of sugar and we change the way how to make it. So I always try to have some pastry relative to something. This is the most important.
So you try to make it it makes a lot of difference, with the normal cake, classic cake that we have seen. So it inspired you to accept this, challenge, and then you have to do a lot of trial and error, right? It's not very easy, sometimes the ingredients are not there. Yeah. Sometimes the quality of the ingredients is not the same as you are used.
Yes.
And you also mentioned temperature is also, the weather condition, the temperature also makes a lot of difference from each country, right?
Yeah, pastry is life, so everything is moving, but everything have a big impact of the quality. You take one piece of sugar, you put here in Philippines, and you put in France, outside. It will be melted in different way. So the sugar is the base of our product, and is the most sensitive part of our work, because the problem is humidity.
Yes.
And so it's a lot of small detail that is very important for the condition of the cake. After, for the ingredients, it's very important. If you want to make good cake, you should to have good ingredients. We have no magical in pastry. If you get the right chocolate, the right butter, the right fruits, why you cannot make good pastry? I mean, it's very clear, So the ingredients is very, very important. But if here, I think in Philippines, the ingredient is good. You have good quality of ingredients. 50% of my cake is ingredients made by French company, who is located in France. So it's just, it's very safe for me and for all chefs around the world when you travel, to find always the good chocolate or the good frozen puree, or to find the good sometimes cream or butter.
Yes.
So this is a big security for us. So 50% of the job is already safe.
So this is something, maybe modern day cake is really quite different, and then maybe people should try it, because this is something done, with, you think also of the health of the people. You care.
Of course.
Right? So this is the most important right now, that we have a chef who doesn't think of just making money, just sharing the talent just like that because it's the in thing, but you also think, what can you do to help? Right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, the food in this world actually is for me it's a big challenge because it's very important. You eat what you are, you know. So you should really carefully about what you eat, you know. And for me, when I came to Asia, I heard that it's very important to also reduce the percentage of sugar of your pastry. So I learned a lot from this. And I really realized maybe 2 years ago when I arrived here, why you have this kind of recipe, why you spend too much time to do this recipe, and you can remove some part of sugar. And you also can talk about this and explain that the sugar is a drug. It's a drug, the sugar. So it's like you can be addictive of sugar,
yes,
you know.
Yes.
You can addictive of a bad sweet also. So try to also understand about the health of the people and also think a little bit different. And also, of course, you make a cake, but create story around this cake and make something a little bit different. It's very important for me. This is very, very important.
So you know, when you invented the cake, because these 10 cakes, you know, that we will show later
Yes.
in the television, is your own concoction, right?
Yes.
Did you get inspiration and share it with your wife or your friends before you try it to others? Because it has to be tasted first, whether it's okay or not.
You know, in pastry, we have some base of recipe. So we have basic recipe with some kind of fruit, some kind of nuts, and after it's like dictionary. Everything is registered in your mind. Okay. And when you create something, I open my dictionary and okay, this is a part of a sponge, this is a part of a mousse, of a cream, of a fruit. And I have all my recipes going in my head and I can create this cake. And I know now that maybe 65%, I'm pretty sure I don't need to test the cake because I'm sure it will be fine.
That's how confident
Yes,
you are.
yes. But sometimes when you need to create something that you are not in your dictionary, it's the time that you open your mind and you try to do something different and you try new recipe. Because you are in a new country, you find, you know, like new ingredients and but almost the time, like I explained before, 50% is French product, so I know this product, so it's already in my dictionary. But the rest after is like freestyle. And of course, you need to give to someone to test it.
Yes,
and
yes.
to tell you, this is good, this is not good. But it's so difficult, because you will like it, this cake. But someone else will maybe not like it. You know, the food, the gastronomy, it's something very, very sensitive for everyone. Every person is very different from another.
Yes,
So some people like when it's salty, when it's no sweet, when it's a lot of sweet. So it's very difficult. So I need to also find a reason as my personality as a chef that, okay, you tell me it's sweet, you tell me it's not so fruity. And I will check to combine if these people are true or not, you know. But yeah, it's also very important.
Join Arnel Doria as he explores the world of travel, transportation, road safety, and the environment. Tune in to Good Trip every Saturday at 1 to 2 p.m. on Radio Bandido TV, Channel 224 Sky Cable, TV Plus boxes, digital free-to-air Channel 29, Facebook.com/DZRJ 810 a.m. and YouTube channel DZRJ 810 a.m. Radio Bandido.
Chef Gregory, did you apply it already in Taiwan?
For?
This modern day cake? Because
Yes.
the one that I saw,
Yes.
like the...
This kind of cake, what I made, 50% was done in Taiwan. So all the Taiwanese and guests from Mandarin have already tried.
So I like your idea. Lessen it 50% sugar, and then just only do the small thing but not the big thing, you know. So you also help people understand, you know, to eat the right, you know, weight. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
it's better to have a quality than the quantity for me. It's better to enjoy a small piece of cake
Yes.
but a huge part of cakes and too sweet and yeah, I think it's like the pastry now is a lifestyle for me. You know, it's a really big part of lifestyle. It's like you go to the cinema, you go to, it's the same. You go to one place because you have one chef and you know exactly that it will be good for you to also discover a few things. It's very important. It's very important, especially now. You know, before the kitchen and the cooking was a big part of the gastronomy.
Yes.
Okay? But now it's a change a lot. It's a change a lot because the pastry is easy to access. You know, it's not really expensive. You can get one cake for $5. But if you want to have a gastronomical experience, you need to spend a lot of money.
Yes.
You need to book in advance. You need to. But you know, now it's easy to get something nice, and so for me it's really big lifestyle, and it will be growing up more and more.
Now I realize, don't take it for granted, because when I saw you doing the trees and then, you know, covering the pink ladies with white chocolate but color pink, color green, you know, and the sponge cake, I thought before it was just only for decoration. So every time I had a gift from the hotel, I don't eat it. I just put it aside.
Why?
You know, but now I realize that it's a good quality of chocolate,
Yes,
you know,
of
because
course.
I thought it was just something for decoration, you know.
No.
Yeah.
I think is the part of the decoration should to take 10% of your cake, 10 to 50% of your cake, is why the guest will buy it, and the guest will buy the second time because it's tasty.
Yeah.
So this is two parts that you need to really take care when you make something.
That's why it's very important that when you take this subject, let's say to become a pastry or whatever, you know, career you choose, be sure that a person knows the talent he has, knows whether he has the creativity before he or she embarks on that subject.
Exactly.
You know, if you just want to learn to make money out of it, but you don't have the know-how, the artistic side
The
of
passion.
it, it will fail, right?
Yes, a little bit.
Yeah, and then also, what is so nice about you, Chef Gregory, is that you're young, you love challenge, you love to, to accept, you know, adventure, you know, you still, you know, so restless that you really want to share more and more. I think it's a good thing if you have this kind of modern day cake. Why not? Why not travel around and share it with people so they can discover something? Maybe by traveling from one country to another, you can discover another modern day cake to introduce that will cater, because each country has something that maybe you can learn from their local pastry, right? Because
Of
each
course.
country has their own local products.
You have a country with a rich product,
Yes,
with
yes.
rich ingredients. Try to use it.
Like beans, you know, I know beans is very important, you know. During the Moon Festival, we have this bread, you know, that like the moon cake.
Yes.
So the beans very good. Have you tried tasting or doing that with your
With
own?
red beans?
Yeah. Or maybe
yes.
with...
I'm too French maybe, but it's new part of my dictionary that I need to open, like new recipe to create something. Yeah, but I'm sure here in Philippines you have a lot of nice ingredients that you need to discover and to make something like interesting. I try like a sago with
yes,
coconut.
yes. Yeah, yes.
This one you can create an amazing cake with this. Yes, of course.
So instead of doing the pearl, the silver and the gold pearl, maybe put sago into that. I don't know.
I will keep the flavor of this But I will create maybe a cake with this one. And I will add maybe like touch of exotic to balance with the sweetness of a coconut. Something, you know, like create emotion, you know. What will be create emotion is the acidity, the sourness.
Yes.
If you have something plain, you will not really remember.
Yes, yes.
But if you have something little bit acid, maybe you like or you don't like, but you're gonna think about this. You
Yes,
say, oh,
yes.
it's keeping my mind, and it's acid, is something. And the second time you will try it, and maybe you will love it.
So it depends. There's still a lot of things to discover, you know.
It's no limit.
Yeah, right? Because
Unlimited.
I always remember my dad always tell us, you know, when you learn something, it will never end. Every day you still have to keep on learning and learning. It's always education, you know, and that
Most
will help you
important,
survive.
yes,
You
is
know.
the base.
Yeah.
To keep the base, to have the base, and after, when you have your base, you can change. No problem. You can create what you want. So it's why this job for me is amazing, because it's like no limit. You can travel, you can challenge yourself, you can meet a lot of people, and not only make pastry. You can make we can have a great conversation, you know, and you know, discover the life of the people, the habit of the people, and this one it's super.
Yeah, so you will, you know, it will be another milestone in your life,
Yeah.
you know, by traveling you will try to understand more the culture, the food taste of each country, and how you
Everything.
can do to help, you know, based on you, as you said, based on the dictionary in your mind, maybe you can help create something for each country. So we will continue. Itutuloy po namin aming magandang pag-uusap ni Chef Gregory sa pagbabalik po ng Power to Unite with Elvira.
Be enlightened with inspiring stories. Interesting biblical features. And insightful interviews with the pillars of our Catholic faith. Power to Unite with Elvira.
Chef Gregory, you know, I'm glad that you let us know, you know, your life story, you know, the challenges you're facing, you know, when you have to go out. But one thing that helps you during our conversation, which is that as long as you have the skill, the creativity in you, nobody can take that away, and that can help you survive. You have to accept all the, you know, challenges, you know, and also nice to do an adventure. It's a journey. And then you learn from experience, good or bad. But what is important is that, you know you are developing into a better person. And that traveling around helps you also a lot to understand, you know, the differences between each country, from America, from Europe, to Russia, to the Asian countries. And I think that one can help you also do something later on that can help, you know, because based on your modern day cake concoction, it's really you are also thinking of the health of the one who will eat it. And then it's a small portion, it's not a big one that when you see it, you already feel as if, you know, you don't want to finish it. So the slices, you know, is just ideal for the present situation that we have now, and it's less 50% sugar. So how do you see yourself, you know, after this from the Philippines? Because it's not enough your stay with 3 days to say, you know, the Filipino tastes better. But as you travel around, how do you see this modern day cake works? Will it works? Will it be more challenging for you? Will it become better for you to understand using this as a storytelling, as an initial step to penetrate and understand other culture, and then maybe to create another, modern
of
day
course
cake?
I will continue this to create more and more, and to have more, maybe not difficulty, but to have something more easy to a lot of people understand, so yeah, I will continue to always create and discover few countries.
Any message you would like to share to the Filipino televiewers?
Yeah, I mean, we can talk a lot of time, but we live in a big world, and I think it's very important to share and to be able to communicate each other, and is why I'm super happy to be here and to share with you some few techniques that I learn, that I create, and yes, it's big world, so we need to really good with this.
Your advice to the future chef, or maybe future
if you start your career and you want to be a chef, especially a pastry chef, take a course, learn as much as you can. In a school is good because you can learn many techniques, but also find a job, work hard, and try to find your direction, and after create something that for you it's your personality. It's good to follow, it's good to copy, I understand sometimes, but create your own personality. This is the most important. And like I say, you are in a really rich country of product, of diversity, Try to use this as experience for your profession, and for your sweet maybe.
So napakaganda po ang sharing ni Chef Gregory Doyen. Siya po ang Executive Pastry Chef ng GD Pastry Shop. So naka-base po siya ngayon sa Mandarin Oriental, Taiwan, at dito po nagbigay po siya ng 3-day semi-workshop dito sa Academy of Pastry and Arts na naka-located po dito sa Jupiter. It's a very good school. You will really learn a lot, and I'm happy that I was given the chance to witness the dedication, the patience, the love. Then yung knowledge, yung creativeness mo, sa iyo lang yan. If you think you had it, do it, use it, employ it. Pero maganda po ang advice ni Chef, find a job, for you to have an experience so that you will know where you stand. Then you can find your feet at the same time, which is the best for you. Because it's not enough just to study. You also have to apply it. Apply what you learn and, make an experience out of it and see where you stand. And then from there, little by little, maybe if you think you are gifted, you have the talent, use it to help people to stay healthy. So now I realize with modern day cake, you can still stay healthy because Chef Gregory really cares. He has the gift that he knows. It's not just only to sell the product, but he thinks that he owe it to his parents, to his friends, who supported him, that his creativity is really for us to enjoy, but also to stay healthy. Sana nagustuhan po ninyo ang aming episode. Hanggang sa muli dito po sa programa ng Power to Unite with Elvira.